What is going on, guys? Today we are taking a look at the Cre8 P1 Sport True Wireless Earbuds. But before we jump into these guys, I just want to say that if this is your first time to the channel, welcome to Plug and Play. My name is JDubb, and the goal of this channel and of this video is to help you guys make a better tech buying decision. Now, if that sounds like something you're interested in and you want to see more reviews and other tech-related videos just like this one, please consider subscribing to the channel, hit that bell notification so you don't miss any other videos. But without further ado, let's jump into a disclaimer. Real quickly, I do want to thank Cre8 Audio for sending me these earbuds to do this review. They did send them to me at no cost to do this review. However, this is a non-biased review. I am not being paid to give this a positive or a negative review. The experiences with this product are exactly what I'm going to share with you today, again, to help you guys make a better tech buying decision. Now, with that out of the way, let's jump in and unbox these guys. So here it is. You got nice Cre8 P1 Sport packaging, looks really nice, got a cool looking texture, got all your feature set here on the back, but I'm not going to waste a lot of time here. We're going to go ahead and unbox these guys just like that. So there it is. That worked out really well. Here's everything that you have in the package. You get a nice little carrying case. You've got your standard manual that has all the instructions on how to use the product, as well as how to pair it up and all that good stuff. You got your micro USB cable here that comes with the packaging, so micro USB charging, and you've got your additional size earbuds, as well as the P1s right here. And so these guys are pretty cool. So now let's jump in. I'll give you a tour of the headphones themselves, and then we'll talk about specs and my overall review. All right, guys, so here you have the Cre8 P1 Sports. You got a pretty thick case. It's not a small case. It's fairly on the thick side, but you do have, it's a semi-translucent lid. I don't know if you can see that very well, if you can see my fingers moving through there. It's a translucent lid because you got your indicator LEDs here on the inside in the center for charging, as well as the battery life level of the case itself. You've got your earbuds here, but before we jump into those, you do have a standard USB-A port on the front. The reason being is that this case can also be used as a power bank to charge a mobile device. So not only is the power in here going to be using to charge the earbuds themselves, but you can also use this as a power bank. You will notice that this is a micro USB charged product, which is, you know, a little unfortunate because the battery life is a little bit bigger, but it is what it is. It's not so big to the point where you need to have a USB-C or some other charging, but micro USB on this guy to charge. On the other side here, you've got your button, which would basically turn on the power bank when you're using it to charge an external device. There's a little knob right here, a little notch here that you kind of flip the case open, and there you have the inside. You're gonna notice that these guys are pretty large. These are a pretty large bulb-shaped earbud. They are touch, which is awesome. They have touch controls, which is fantastic, and we'll talk about those in just a little while. But here you've got basically your two contacts. You've got kind of a matte finish on the outside here. It's matte, but it's got a slight gloss to it, so they do pick up a little bit of fingerprints, which is a little unfortunate, but overall it's not a completely glossy, so it doesn't pick up a ton of fingerprints, but it does indeed pick up some fingerprints. You'll notice that you've got kind of a long angular, kind of like a snorkel looking tip here for the earbuds that go down into your ears, and then you've got a very soft, very thin, very light membraned ear tip. Now, we're definitely going to talk about these in a little bit because this is definitely probably the biggest con of these earbuds, and we'll talk about that here in just a few minutes. But overall, that is the earbud. So now let me jump over. We'll talk about some of the specs, and then I'll give you my overall breakdown on what I think of the Cre8 P1 Sports. So now I'm going to turn to the box here, and I'm going to read some of the specs for these guys here, and then I'll give you my comparison and what I think about them, how the actual performance stacks up against what the specs say. So right off the top, you've got Bluetooth 5.0, which is pretty cool. You've got dual wireless, which allows you to do, you know, mono mode in each side, which is great. You've got HD voice. They're lightweight, long-lasting battery, connect to two devices. You get your charging case. You get up to 4 hours of playtime. And we'll talk about that here in just a minute. Up to 5 hours of talk time when you're using it for phone calls exclusively. You've got the built-in charging case, which can also charge an additional device because it is a power bank, and you've got the built-in microphones. So those are the specs just off the cuffs, real straightforward, basic stuff. So now let me tell you a little bit about my experience and what I think about these earbuds. So first things first, let me just talk quickly about the battery life. So 4 hours of battery life is what they kind of expect that you should get. I'm easily getting 4 hours of battery life on these earbuds. Again, I don't listen to them at 100% volume. These guys do get pretty loud. So I listen to about 70% volume. And overall, I'm seeing at least 4-5 hours without much of a problem at all. The great thing is that with that being said, they have great quality sound. So I'm not sacrificing a lot when I go down to that lower volume level to kind of extend that battery. So overall, battery life, I've been pretty happy. The overall touch controls are very responsive. I've been very, very happy about that. They're so responsive to a point where I've actually kind of accidentally touched them. So they could even be potentially a little bit oversensitive, but overall, I've been very, very pleased with the touch capability of these guys. The touch space on the outside is actually pretty large. It makes it very, very nice, and it's very easy to find. I find that some earbuds that have touch, it's such a very specific location where you have to touch them. Overall, I've had no real problems kind of finding that without being able to see it. So overall, touch quality and touch responsiveness, very, very solid. So moving on from there, sound quality. Sound quality on these guys, when you get the fit just right, and we'll talk about that in a second, when you get the fit right, when you get that nice seal in your earbuds, the sound quality is fantastic. Nice deep bass, great mids, very well represented highs. Overall sound quality is awesome. I'm not gonna say it's the best, but with everything as it comes out of the box, once you find the earbuds that kind of give you the best seal in your ear, overall sound quality is very, very solid. Very happy with that as well. So with the main things, those are the main things kind of out of the way. Overall, very happy with the overall experience so far. Being able to charge my phone with the case has been nice. Let me talk to you about a few things that I'm not too big of a fan of. With the case itself, you know, it's a little on the bulky side. And yes, I know it is a power bank, right? I can charge my phone. For me personally, I don't use that feature. But if you are a person that travels a lot, you know, needs that option and needs that ability just in case you did run out of battery life on your device, you can charge it. It's pretty nice. For the average person on a daily basis who wants something to kind of keep in their pocket, you know, that kind of thing, this is a little bit on the bulky side. It's about the size and width of a credit card, and then pretty thick. So size wise, not a huge fan in that realm. It would be great if maybe they had the same pair of earbuds in a smaller option as well. Like here's the one that's got the battery pack, and then here's the one that doesn't have the battery pack, and they're the same earbuds and everything else is the same. You just can choose if you want to have that power bank option, but that's just kind of a personal preference thing. Sticking with the case just a little bit longer, obviously because it is a larger battery, I would love to see USB-C, and potentially because of the size, even wireless charging might be something that they could add to this, but definitely USB-C to kind of be able to fill that battery as quickly as possible. The last thing though with the case that I'm not a huge fan of is the way that it opens. Now, it is a flip door, but you have to, there's just a tiny little knob right here that you have to kind of fit your fingernail under a little bit to flip it open. You know, it's again kind of a personal preference kind of thing. Sometimes I just can't quite get it really quickly, and I fumble a little bit, I feel like, and so maybe making that a little bit bigger. So moving on from there with the earbuds themselves, the biggest complaint that I have is the ear tip, and this is a tricky thing, because one, you know, when you have a pair of true wireless earbuds, the ear tip needs to be able to be on the earbud, and then that all be able to fit inside the case. Now, you can't put very many other ear tips on these earbuds and have them still fit in the case. You're kind of stuck with this or something very similar in size. Now, the problem with these guys, and I had to go up to the absolute largest size for it to get in my ear, and even then, it's very hard for me to kind of get a seal until I've gotten some practice. Now, the first indication, the first inclination that you have is to just stick these in and get them in as far as you possibly can. And I actually realized that's not necessarily the best way to do it. You kind of stick them in your ear, and then you kind of want to tip them back a little bit at the bottom. So you don't want to slide the ear tip down in your ear. You want the base, the most of your ear that's going to be filled is the top portion, and you kind of want these guys to sit really parallel with your head. So I have to kind of finagle them every time I put them in my ear to get that seal. And for me, that's the biggest hang up. And because the rubber is so thin, even when I get that seal, the noise isolation isn't the best. I can still hear a lot of the noise from the outside. I'm sure that I'm probably getting a little bit of audio bleed, but when I do get that seal, the audio quality is increased greatly. Now, what I personally did to kind of resolve that is I got another pair. I got another tip from another pair of earbuds. There we go. That is the ear tip that I'm using right now on these guys, and it fits really well. And you can see that it kind of recesses back in there. And putting this tip on there still allows it to fit in the case. The thing is that it just gives me a really solid seal. I get all that noise isolation, and that ramps the volume, quality, audio quality, everything up to maximum, and makes these guys a really powerful pair of earbuds. This was huge. Going from this little rubberized ear tip that comes with it to finding a different one, a third-party one that fit and still was able to fit in the case, changed the game entirely on these earbuds for me. So if people are out there, they've tried these, they use these, they may have no problem. I have really big ear holes. It just didn't work out that great for me for the most part, but I found another way to make it work, and overall that solved it and made these a great pair of earbuds. So overall, at the end of the day, what do I think? Do I think you should buy these? Because right now, these guys are on sale on their website, on the Cre8 website. Link, again, as usual, down in the description below. These guys come in at $101, not including tax or anything like that. So they're about $100 pair of earbuds. And I think, you know what, to be honest with you, with the power bank in the case, the overall audio quality, when you get a good seal, when you get that just right and you kind of figure that out, you get the touch controls, you get an IPX7 rating, so they are waterproof. You could listen to these guys, potentially in the shower. So for a $100 pair of earbuds, yeah, I'd be comfortable saying that these are a pretty good buy. So, that's basically it. That's my verdict. Yes, they're a solid buy. Few things that I'm not a huge fan of, but you know what? No product's perfect, right? That's kind of the way it goes. So again, guys, those are the Cre8 P1 Sports. Hopefully this video was helpful for you. Hopefully this helps you guys make a better tech buying decision. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to argue with me, you want to give me more tips, you want to ask me questions, you want more details about these guys, please let me know down in the comment section below. I love having conversations with you guys down there. But as usual, guys, that is it for me, and I will see you in the next video.